Guys, I'm here with JT Hodges, one of your artists for this year's Liquid Ninja Big O Music Fest, which, by the way, is coming up Saturday, August 16th. JT, how's it going?
It's going fantastic. Everything good there?
Everything's good here. We're just ready for y'all to get down here for the Big O Music Fest.
Hey, me too. I'm excited.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fun.
Yes, so now, you're not new to music by any means, but kind of still making your way to kind of introduce yourself to people in country music. So I thought let's tell them a little bit about you, kind of like a first date. How does that sound?
Oh, okay, great. It's like a speed dating thing here. All right.
Yeah, speed dating. Except for I won't buzz you out. I won't do that, I promise.
Okay, good.
So today I was just kind of on your website and I was looking around and I was reading some stuff about you, which you and I had met before in Memphis at a St. Jude event. But you have a very impressive musical background. So kind of give folks a little bit of an idea of how you were brought up in music.
Well, I was born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas. Both my parents were musicians. My dad went to Juilliard for concert piano and got his master's in jazz composition at the University of North Texas. Together, they started up the first multi-track recording studio ever built in Fort Worth. It was called Buffalo Sound. And, Dad and Mom worked with several artists, Delbert McClinton, Michael Bolton, Leon Redbone, Richie McDonald. So it was an amazing way to grow up. I grew up in a studio, and really he had an audio library. My dad had an audio library of so many different genres of music. I remember my brother and I sneaking into that audio library, neglecting our chores at the time, and just listening to CD after CD and just all these different artists that we didn't really have a clue about at a young age. And then Cowtown is what is known as Fort Worth, so obviously country music was always in the foreground of all of it. So all of that has definitely shaped the music that I make, and I look forward to getting out there here pretty soon at the Big O Festival and sharing it with everybody. So
yeah, I mean that's pretty impressive. Everything that you just said. Now, one thing that I found interesting whenever I was creeping on you was you have a theater background. Now, that's not that common in country music. Other genres, totally. But you have a pretty extensive theater background, which is pretty cool.
I do. It was one of those things when I got time to come to college. Pops was like, "Don't be a music major," and so I decided I'd study theater. And of course, he was like, "That's not what I meant." But it's a lot of fun, and the performance aspect of both is very similar. And I enjoy that side. Music's always obviously first, but. It's a good background thing to have, I think.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's you're just expressing yourself in a different form. So really, it's just kind of like music with a twist.
Absolutely.
So you have been working on a new record. Now, I don't know any of the details. Can you give us any details about this new record, or are you still kind of figuring things out?
No, actually, it's coming along great. We're about halfway through, and this go around, I'm working with several different producers as well as producing some of the stuff on my own. So the record's going to have a different feel, but I'm basically just building off my first record. Continuing to do the things that I do. The music I make is a little different. It's unique, but that's the way I want it. And it takes a little longer for guys like me, like you were saying at the beginning of this interview, to introduce yourself to the listeners out there. But I feel this new record is the best music I've made, and I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Well, I'll just say on behalf of our listeners, we're not a big fan of cookie cutter country music, so we definitely appreciate you putting your stamp on your music. And I think that by doing that, I think people are going to appreciate how you're just a little bit different than what's out there. So I think that's a good thing.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support.
Well, okay, so Already High is a new single that we have, and I like it because it's chill. You know, I mean, it's a good driving song. It's a good feel-good song. Did you write that one?
I did. Yeah, I actually wrote that with a buddy of mine. It was the first time writing together. His name's Kevin Griffin. He's the lead singer of a rock band called Better Than Ezra.
Yeah.
And we were kind of getting to know each other and just kind of And we started talking about the stuff that guys, all the important stuff we like to talk about, like our favorite types of liquors and beers, and how too much of the stuff has gotten us in trouble some nights in our ladies. And all of a sudden, we started laying down the groove and kind of writing a brown-nosing apology to our ladies, saying that there's no better high than the love they give us.
Now that's
so
not.
That's kind of how the song came about, and yeah, it's fun. We kind of liked it that it was a kind of a different approach to what you typically hear in a country music party song, I guess. So it's definitely one of the more lighthearted songs that I've written.
Well, it's good stuff, and the video is really cool, and I just found out today that I guess y'all just kind of cut the whole thing in one take. You just did the whole thing.
Yeah, one shot, basically, from start to finish, no edits, and, that way, it was one of those things that you could get almost to the very, very end of it, and if you messed up, you'd have to start all over, but we got it all, and we ended up only having to do about 11 takes. We were pretty prepped up and ready to go before we started. So it was a really cool experience. Enjoyed it.
Well, that's pretty cool. That theater background had to help out there. You just went out there and just
I did,
nailed
actually.
it.
It did.
Okay,
I knew my marks to get to. So.
That's good. Hey, I'm sure that whoever was working with you behind the camera extremely appreciated that.
Yeah. We had a good flow. I've worked with Mason Dixon. He did my Goodbyes Made You Mine videos. So we had a good rapport already, and we kind of knew each other, and that definitely helped.
So, lots of folks have never seen you perform live, but coming up August 16th, you're going to be at Liquid Ninja Big O Music Fest. What can folks expect from you when you're on stage?
High energy, honesty, and really just a guy that's up there just telling every single story, reliving every single song, but also getting the crowd involved and just having a good time, man. Just trying to make people feel good, because you know what, I'm going to be feeling good up there. So,
well, then you are definitely going to be in the right place, because let me tell you what, from the time they get there to the time they leave, they're going to be feeling good. I can promise.
All right. Well, you know what? We'll do a couple of cheers then.
I love it. Okay, before I let you go, apparently you're a big football fan. Who are your teams, and what do you think about your chances this season?
Well, I'm a TCU alumni, so the TCU Horned Frogs.
Gotcha.
And then born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas, so I've always been a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh, so, bless your heart.
Yeah, so I mean, it's this year is looking for both. Really, there's a lot of questions about both teams, but I kind of like that. Usually, when I have high expectations and everybody's hyping up either TCU or Dallas, it tends to, or lately, it hasn't gone in their favor or my favor. So now that I don't really have huge expectations for either, it should be a fun season to watch, and maybe they'll both surprise me and have a great season.
Well, if you want to cross over to the light, if you want to become a Titans fan, we'll take you, we'll accept you. But just
that's my number 2.
There we go.
My number 2 team.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm ready for football. No offense to soccer, but that World Cup, only thing it made me want to do is see football out there. So it's here. We're excited.
It was fun and awesome. Yeah, here we go. It's just around the corner.
Well, JT, thank you so much for calling. Hey, tell folks before we let you go where you can get more information about you and your music. Just built a brand new website at jthodges.com. It's got all my social links there for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Perfect.
That's the best way to find out where I'm at on the road and all the updates that you need. And Jaclyn, I look forward to seeing you at the Big O Festival and everybody else out there too. Sounds great. We will see you August the 16th, and thank you again so much for calling in. We really appreciate it. All right, darling.